Thank you very much. May I please speak from here?
Yes. Yes.
Thank you very much. People power.
Our power.
Our power.
People power.
NUP.
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
NUP.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I'm honored to be in your midst today. I was in San Francisco, and I met this old lady, and she held me by the cheeks, wondering whether I'm the one and wondering whether I'm still alive. Sometimes it comes to me and I also wonder whether I'm still alive. But here I am. I want to first of all apologize for reaching late. I really, really respect your time. And I know, especially in a country like America, that's where the real meaning of time is money comes out. So please take my apologies for being here late. I take the blame. I would have sent the blame to my brother who was driving me, but I'll take that blame, and I hope you'll understand. I found myself having so much to deal with in a very short time. I'm in New York only up to tomorrow, and yet there's so much to do. But nevertheless, I am here. And it is you, the white people, that say better late than never. I want to appreciate you for taking this time to come so we can meet and share a few thoughts. I mean, I keep using social media, and many of you listen to me and follow me on social media. You could have been there. But the fact that you came so we can interface and share these thoughts, please know I don't take it for granted. To the leadership, our chapter leader, Madam Deputy, diaspora leader, all the leadership and comrades, I salute you. Thank you very much for not getting tired. This that we're doing is tiring. It is frustrating. If I could, I would share with you how many times I feel like giving up. But I know that much as there are so many reasons to give up, there are much more reasons to keep going. And here we are, still soldiering on until we get there. So thank you very, very much for not getting tired, for not giving up, for not getting frustrated. You guys that show up, you are the reason why even when I'm jet lagged so much like now, I find myself having to come and meet you. I told some friends a while ago that while I finish every day so tired and I'm driving back home, you find the border guys that are broke, don't have fuel, but they drive in there, sometimes in their dozens, sometimes they're 50, escorting you back home. And then you're like, if these guys are not giving up, then who am I to give up? That alone keeps us going. Many of you, I see you on social media, agitating, pushing, and that keeps us going. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That you do is the reason why people keep going. Why even me, many of you keep telling me I inspire you. But you don't know how much you inspire me to keep going. So thank you very much. It is us that are supposed to do this. It is us that the country has. Thank you very much for not giving up. Maybe briefly, and I keep saying it, earlier today I was having a meeting with the Council for Foreign Relations, and I told them that I'm not in exile. I'm not a refugee.
Yeah.
No, I am not. I'm only bearing all characteristics of a refugee, but I'm not. Maybe I'm still living in denial, but I refuse to accept that I'm in exile. My fight is in Uganda, and I will go back. I will go back. When and how, that is a matter of planning and getting ready. But I'll go back after doing the work that I have to do and face that regime. before that, you all know I ran away from my home so I could still be alive some more. So I could be able to speak some more. My sneaking out of my country, my escape from my home, my own home, and finally escape from my country was, for lack of a better word, a way of postponing my execution. Because as all of you know, we went into an election. An election that was extremely brutal. And one would think that the brutality was during the campaign. But as soon as my wife and I cast our ballot, we were placed under house arrest. But that was not enough, especially for this imbecile son of Museveni that lacks confidence. Every time he looks at a common man or common woman that believes in themselves, they feel so threatened. So he ordered the military to raid my home the following day. But being the ghetto child that I am, somehow I eluded them and left my home. That didn't settle down well with them. They kept searching for me, as all of you were following. Ordering his military to find me and deliver my privates to him. And then later on, issuing another order to deliver me to him, dead or alive. Because he's so insecure, and because I beat him at his game, not the police, not the military, or any security institution could find me. They raided my home, beat up everybody there, tortured my wife and family members, stripped my wife naked and took pictures. Those cowards. A whole bunch of more than 40 men fighting one woman. But she again defeated them because they could not break her. They could not get her to tell them where I was. And she knew where I was. That speaks to the power of women and the power of resilience. Anyway, she ended up in hospital. And she also escaped from our hospital bed. Ended up here in America with our children. I stayed in the country for close to 2 months. First, because it was dangerous for me to make a move before planning it in detail, but also to further prove to all and sundry that these guys are not as smart as they think. Their intelligence is actually not intelligent. And ultimately, I was able to leave the country, and here I am. Leaving my home and leaving my country was the most painful thing. I mean, I've spoken to so many people that were in exile, but I never ever imagined that a day would come and I have to leave my home, not with my favorite shirt or my favorite shoe or my favorite book. But we made it, and here we are. Meanwhile, the situation back home continues to be dire. Abductions continue to go on. As we speak right now, all of you have been following how Comrade Alex Wise from Ofumbiro was kept in prison, denied even the mandatory bail, what our law provides for, was thrown out of the window. He was denied a mandatory bail, denied the opportunity to nurse his dying wife. And even when she passed away, he was denied the opportunity to lay her to rest. All this is being done to break us. On the 12th of March, the home of my personal assistant, Don Sheriff Naja, was raided because they were expecting me to be hiding in his home. When they did find me or him, they took his wife. Everything was on camera. It has been 37 days. Nobody knows where that woman is. She's held incognito. Some people tell us she's in a military barracks. But even when the court ordered for her to be presented dead or alive, they dismissed the court, the military. She's a woman. Imagine somebody coming and picking your wife from your home and taking her away. And you don't know where your wife is. You are with your 2 babies. And the so-called Uganda People's Defense Forces comes and takes your woman away. Worse than it was done during the days of Idi Amin. Idi Amin was killing or abducting intellectuals that threatened his power. Museveni and his son are abducting border riders, market vendors, and wives. We don't know where the wife of sheriff is up to now. You can imagine that pain. You can imagine that contempt. So that makes the plight of my own wife and other people much lighter. As we speak now, our sisters, Olivia Rutaya, Sauda Madada, Doreen Kaija, and many others are in prison for no crime whatsoever. I could go on and on and on and on. But back home is not only depressing. There's also some impressing things that are happening. Our people refuse to give up, especially our young people. They refuse to give up. In the place of intimidation, wherever and whenever there's an opportunity for them to assert themselves, they have done it. You followed up in Makerere University, you are following in Chambogo, you are following other institutions of learning. But even besides that, the population itself refuses to give up. The regime has decided to revenge on people for not voting them. They are demolishing people's houses with impunity, trying to impoverish them, trying to, prove a point. As we speak right now, the regime is not only fighting activists and freedom fighters back home, but even here where we are. Now, they've brought a new law that seeks to make this that we are doing illegal. To make it illegal for Ugandans, even thousands of miles away from home, to meet and discuss the future of Uganda. If you meet and discuss how messed up our economy is, they brand you an economic saboteur. And they are threatening to declare us non-citizens. Imagine somebody who we know is a foreigner is trying to declare us foreigners in our own country. That can go on and on and on and on. But the good news is that our people refuse to give up. They are still standing strong. Now I'm here, many people, and you saw regime propagandists when I escaped Uganda, and the next stop was Washington. They went on social media and said, you see, Bobiwine is an agent of the whites, he's an agent of colonialism. Why did he go to America? Why didn't he go to an African country? And they would be right if they were not idiots. Why? I mean, look back in the 60s, in the fight for independence, in the 70s, in the days of Idi Amin, and even the 80s, in the days of Milton Obote, Ugandan dissidents would just cross the border to Kenya and they would be safe. The likes of Museveni. Well, Museveni went to Europe. The same person criticizing me for going to the West. He was in Sweden with his family. But I mean, people like Dr. Kiza Besigye and others had their bases in Nairobi, in Tanzania, and other countries. Question is, how come then I did not go to Kenya? All of you have seen that the Ugandan dictatorship has gone ahead to export its impunity even across the border. And this, I keep telling the Americans and the Europeans that every time they tolerate a dictatorship, it grows from a seed to a seedling to a big tree. And now, the impunity has been exported to Kenya and Tanzania and other countries. No wonder now abductions are the order of the day. It never used to happen in Kenya. One would be safe in Kenya or Tanzania. But you saw Dr. Besigye was abducted from Kenya by Ugandan security, driven across the border in a car trunk, and then slapped with bogus charges in a kangaroo military court. And now the same people are questioning why I did not base in Kenya. You saw what happened to our sister Agatha Toere and other activists in Tanzania. And now the same people are wondering why I did not serve myself to the regime by going to Tanzania. Anyway, here I am, alive and kicking, and still going. The biggest question therefore would be, what next? What is the mission? Friends, I am not in exile. I'm on a mission.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to stop. We are not going to stop. Yes, I'm saying that to me, don't quote me, because technically I'm in exile. But spiritually, I am not. I'm on the move. And this move, the final stop, it might not be the next stop, but the final stop will be Kampala, Uganda. We have a problem, a very, very big problem. But we are going to turn this problem into an opportunity. Somebody say it after me. We are going to turn this problem into an opportunity. We are going to turn this problem into an opportunity. Because yes, we can, and we are going to do that. They thought by driving me out of their country, they had finished the game. They're just starting it. It's important to look at challenges and turn them into opportunities. I mean, I don't remember when I last had an opportunity to engage the New York chapter, to talk our own truth to each other, to recharge each other, to remind each other that each other is all that we have. But this that we have is not little. No, it is not. It is such a huge, huge force that if we galvanize it and harness it, it can do wonders. What I've been doing and what I'll continue to do is, first and foremost, keep on knocking at different doors and lobbying and exposing this regime. Good enough, this imbecile is doing it for us. I don't have to come and explain to any official here in the US or anywhere in the world the criminality that is going on back home. It is on X. I just tell somebody, open. That is exactly what I'm talking about. You see, the painful fact is that just like Idi Amin, right from the days of Idi Amin, all these dictators have been propped up by the developed world until they turn against them or until they become so embarrassing. That is the time where the Museveni regime has reached. It is embarrassing even those that associate with it. And it's time for them to disassociate with it. When our forefathers were fighting against slavery, there are many that were supporting it until it became so embarrassing to associate with. When the Mandelas in their time were fighting against apartheid in South Africa, apartheid was the thing. In fact, back then the British Prime Minister branded Nelson Mandela a terrorist. But eventually, apartheid fell. It didn't fall like a miracle. No, it took efforts. I remember here in New York, back in the 80s, a documentary about apartheid South Africa was shown here in New York. It was launched here in New York, and it was shown in various, cinemas across America. And that alone was an expose that ultimately pushed the US government to acknowledge that indeed apartheid was evil, and the US government, plus all other governments in the developed free world, to associate with. That's exactly what we are going to do. That's exactly what we are doing. And we are succeeding. We are succeeding. No wonder they're pushing back. If we are not succeeding, they will not be pushing back. We want to push for sanctions because this country has laws. And those laws, they function. They have the global Magnitsky law that, is to the effect that corrupt governments and government officials and those that are involved in gross human rights violations can be sanctioned. Their properties, what is kuwamba in English? Confiscated and all that. That is what we want to do. We want sanctions on Museveni, his son, and all those officials that are involved in gross human rights violations, in the torture of our people, in the subversion of democracy, and even those judges that are so immoral and are so criminal that they present somebody to them that is grossly tortured, but instead of sending that person to the emergency room, they send them to prison. You saw what happened to Kakwenza. You saw what happened to Ebyewunyisa and others. Segirinya and others. So, it works, and that is exactly what we are doing. But also, and very importantly, to mobilize ourselves in the diaspora. Friends, you people in the diaspora are very important. For all these countries that have freed themselves, the biggest percentage of that effort has come from the diaspora. You are the brain. And you're operating from a safe zone. So let's use it. But we can only use it when we interact regularly. That's why I keep moving from one place to another, from one state to another, to ensure that at least we charge each other. They say it's one hand that washes another. I get energy off you to keep going. And I hope I also emit some energy to you to keep going. And there we'll keep going and going and going and going. Iron sharpens iron. Finally, friends, I want you to know that we must organize. The diaspora is so effective, not just here in America. I'm here in America, and for as long as I still can't move, I will go to Europe, I will go to the Arabian countries, I will go to Africa, the safe countries in Africa. But again, don't worry about me. If I could make it out of Uganda, I can even make it back into Uganda. And before you know, we're in Italy. So, let us keep believing. Let us keep going. Let us keep organizing. Let us keep agitating. Let us keep making friends. Making friends for Uganda. We are going to be free. Me, I'm not giving up. No, I'm not going to give up. In any case, what other alternative other than keep going? I like Bob Marley. He said you can never know how strong you are until being strong is the only solution. Here we are. Here we are. Finally, I want to thank the people that have supported us. Personally, I always laugh at myself when I say I'm homeless, because I am. The military took over my home. But I've lived just as comfortable as I was in my home because I'm surrounded with love. I want to thank you friends very much for keeping me fed, for keeping me clothed, for keeping me hopeful. Do that to each other. Do that to each other. Let us keep making each other feel safe, feel loved, feel secure. And let us keep the hope alive. So with those few remarks, friends, I want to appreciate you so much. Tomorrow, I'm being lined up for an award ceremony here in New York. And then the day after tomorrow, we'll have a leadership retreat in Boston. We'll engage. I keep visiting various universities. A few days ago, I was at the University of California in Berkeley. In the coming days, I hope to speak to the students in Howard University in Washington. Hope to speak to the students in Harvard and many other places to ensure that this time where the regime thinks I should be crying and I should be in a corner regretting why I ever got into this, I want to stand here and tell the regime that if I had to do it again, I would do it and even more stubbornly. Let us keep fighting. Uganda is going to be free. I have no doubt about that. I have no doubt about that. These things that you see the regime doing, show an exiting regime. If they were still here, they would be operating with confidence. But now, they're operating with fear. They are under fear. Let us keep pushing. One day, we'll be meeting in our own home. One day, we're not going to have to be shy about our country. We are going to be proud of our country. We're not going to have to be scared. We will be free, and that is very soon. But it's not going to come as a miracle. It's going to come out of the work and the push that we exert. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. And thank you for your leadership.